think it's important to delineate the differences between quote unquote normal humans and ballet dancers. In some ways, they are normal humans, but in some ways they're absolutely magical creatures. So anyone who's ever seen anyone go on point, it's a magical thing. And some of the jumps that ballet dancers do are so graceful and elegant and, athletic. People think that everything about ballet is effortless, but actually ballet is really, really hard. It's really, really hard because the work that goes in and the years of preparation are so hard and so fatiguing that it's hard to remember that when you watch someone on stage do something magical. Jumping's jumping. So what's the difference between jumping for basketball and jumping for ballet? Well, the aesthetics. But at the end of the day, a knee's a knee. And fighting gravity with your knees and your back and your ankles, that's jumping. So I think in some ways that idea that there's something different, it's not. My goal for all of them is to take care of their knees so that we deal with the hardware. And I think this is the concept that I really like to carry forth. So if I protect the ballet dancers' knees and ankles and shoulders and backs, they can come out and do the magic. That's ballet, that's software. So in some ways I'm a mechanic, and in some ways understanding my place, where I'm not going to tell them how to plie better or how to jeté better or arabesque better. I know the world because I've been taught it by Jurgita, but I think part of the magic is understanding what place is what place. So training is hardware, ballet software, and that's magical. Being able to jump and land properly, that's absolutely correct. What you're saying is you want to make sure that the brakes, the shock absorbers of the ankle, the knee, and the hip can tolerate the multiple ground contacts that ballet does. So again, at the end of the day, it's physics, it's math, and biomechanics, where you want to make sure that the ankle joint, knee joint, hip joint, and everything can tolerate the ground force impact and the carrying. But then there's other things, like there's the carrying and the lifting. So actually upper body does make sense. So all the guys that have to pick up and all the women that have to hold and be held off one arm, sometimes unbelievable, it looks like a miracle that they're holding on. That's actually significant upper body strength. So actually, I would say it depends, but again, I think it depends on the ballet dance. So it depends on what the actual show is, whether they need more or less of it. But I think you're right from a point of view of ground contacts. Yes, it's more lower body, but we can't neglect the upper body because of all of those details. So I think, and also the other thing is that it's an aesthetic sport. The cool thing with ballet is it's a long career. So if you want to build an athlete that has longevity, you said it, you nailed it. Minimizing injuries or quick recovery from an injury will allow people to have long, successful careers. No one wants to be injured, whether you're an athlete or not an athlete, but if you can make sure that that's something that you can build over time. So neglecting areas isn't smart, but you're right. There's things that you do more of. I would say lower body is because of the ground contact, yeah. So.